Enemy claims Zone B. Enemy claims Zone C. They have advantage. 2 for 1. Yes. 3 down.
One of the new weapons that came as a part of the Season of the Risen package that's making a splash is the new rapid-fire frame pulse rifle, the Peace of Mind. This pulse rifle has a lot of things that stand out against the backdrop of, honestly, numerous rapid-fire frames that have landed in the sandbox over the last couple of years. Like, we've had the Grid Skipper, the Darkest Before, the Jurassic Green, and the reprised Iron Banner kinetic rapid-fire pulse rifle, the Time-Worn Spire. Bungie, I mean, they had to expect that a pulse rifle belonging to this family would have, it would have to have something going for it if it was going to stand like a snowball's chance in hell to be popular or desirable for Guardians. And on that tall order, they absolutely delivered. So let's break it down. There are 3 main things that we need to consider when weighing this pulse rifle, and those things are the base stats compared to others in the family, its perk pool compared to others in the family, and finally the obvious major difference that this pulse rifle can be crafted to meet your exact needs with enhanced perks to boot. So let's start right at the ground level with its base stats. How does it stack up? So let's compare it apples to apples against the Darkest Before, which is generally regarded as the most competitive dueling rapid-fire pulse rifle in the energy slot. Most people say that's the cream of the crop. It's not actually my favorite. My pick of those 3 energy variants, you've got the Darkest Before, the Jurassic Green, and the Grid Skipper in the energy slot. My favorite among those 3 is actually the Jurassic Green, based on its perk pool and optics and feel. That one is my pick, but most people go with the Darkest Before, so that's what we'll use for the video comparison. And then we'll also compare it against the Time-Worn Spire, because that's the only other rapid-fire pulse rifle in the kinetic slot like the Peace of Mind goes into. So those would probably be the best 2 for this conversation. In the stability department, Peace of Mind lands at a comfortable 51 base stability. Obviously, that can be changed if you craft it, for more base stability. But you compare that to Darkest Before that has 53. And Time-Worn Spire has 54, so it's slightly lower than the others by, probably a negligible amount, but it is lower. 51 is 2 less than 53, so it's a little bit lower, but not bad at all. It's really right in line with the others. The base handling is a 34, while Darkest Before has a base handling of 34, and Time-Worn Spire is 33, so it's right in line there. The reload speed, right in line with the others, but the aim assist is the highest among the 3 at 82, compared to Darkest Before 75, and Time-Worn Spire has 79. So it's only 3 higher than Time-Worn, but it's a noticeable 7 higher than the Darkest Before. The zoom value, this is interesting. The zoom value on the Peace of Mind is 19 zoom, and you compare that to 17 with the others. So zoom value is one of those things that really starts to affect the range of a weapon. And I can definitely attest that this pulse rifle, it surprises me sometimes with the ranges that it can take duels. So that's something that stands out for sure. And the optics are a little bit different than what you might be used to with other pulse rifles. So in the case of, or in the base stats department, this one is pretty much right in line with most of the others in most categories, save for the zoom value being greater and the aim assist being higher. But the fun part is really when you start to get into the perk pool. In the first column, you've got Overflow, Auto-Loading Holster, Compulsive Reloader, Stats for All, Perpetual Motion, and Heating Up. In the second column, you've got Moving Target, Elemental Capacitor, Focused Fury, Adrenaline Junkie, Vorpal Weapon, and Harmony. Now, there are some killer combos in here. If you watch any Cool Guy content, you're probably already aware of what you can do with that Overflow and Focused Fury combination. It's literally something that you've never seen before on a pulse rifle. I mean, imagine having 70 bullets in your magazine that have a damage buff and you never have to reload it. You just keep pulling the trigger. I mean, other than that, Perpetual Motion obviously is a fantastic perk. We've known that for a little while now, that Perpetual Motion is really good. I would probably personally steer away from. It's not a bad perk on a pulse rifle, but the way that a lot of people play pulse rifles is a little bit more like, okay, I'm gonna play a little bit slower and pick my engagements wisely. It's not like a cracked out on speed, running around, sliding and jumping kind of a gun, you know what I'm saying? So perpetual motion might not kick in as often as it would on something like an SMG, a sidearm, a hand cannon, a shotgun. But in the first slot, I'm gonna go with heating up. Because heating up, I don't know, I feel like this perk does not get enough love. This perk is insane. The things that it does to stability and the size of hitboxes is just friggin' ridiculous. I really can't oversell this perk. And when you get the enhanced version of it, it's going to last even longer. The buff is going to last longer, so you can take advantage of it more. In the second column, you really have some killer options here too, like Elemental Capacitor. I mean, everybody knows Elemental Capacitor is an S tier perk, depending on your subclass. And a lot of people like to run that on the Darkest Before. But Elemental Capacitor for me, obviously great perk, but I don't really care for the fact that you have to play certain subclasses to get certain benefits. Like, I kind of want my gun to perform the same way on all characters generally. But great perk there. Moving target, like if you have a main, like I main, you know, Void, then hey, you're in good shape. You've got moving target, and both moving target and Elemental Capacitor, great perks. They have enhanced versions as well. But I'm actually going to land on Adrenaline Junkie. I love getting the heating up and Adrenaline Junkie combo up and running on pulse rifles. Like, you just feel like a wrecking ball. And I run grenade builds a lot, so I can often take advantage of that ×5 buff. But even without it, like, you can still ramp this thing up. And the enhanced version, again, it extends the duration of this buff so that you can use it more, same as heating up. So I've been hooked on this perk combination for months now. You know, I've got a pulse that can do what my other pulses were doing, but do it better with enhanced versions. It's a no-brainer for me. You know, I put 3,000 kills on my Jurassic Green last season with this perk combination, and I loved it. Loved that gun, loved using it. And now this pulse is going to do everything the green did, but do it better? Like, yeah, of course I'm in. I absolutely can't wait to get a fully crafted version of this gun. But that's sort of where the bad news comes in. I'm rank 10 at the helm right now, which isn't like huge, but I've definitely spent some time doing seasonal activities, and I haven't had a single red border piece of mine drop, not a one. I spent my intel at the helm to be able to decrypt for weapons, so that's gonna help for sure. But it does take a bunch of resources to do it, so it's gonna be a grind, and it's not a guarantee that you're gonna get a red border when you decrypt for the pulse rifle. Anyways, you just kind of have to cross your fingers and hope for the best. You know, you don't need 1 or 2 or even 3 red border weapons to get the pattern. By the way, you need 5, freaking 5. So that's really the biggest hurdle that you need to jump in order to end up with your perfect gun here. Luckily, I've had a lot of these things drop with decent perk combinations, and the one that you're seeing in this video, it is heating up an Adrenaline Junkie like I wanted to have. So in the meantime, I've got a great version of the gun. It's got armor-piercing rounds. I want high caliber because I want to be able to flinch in duels. So, you know, I'll get there eventually, and I'll probably do a follow-up video once I get my fully crafted, perfect piece of mine up and running, and break it down for you. So let me know in the comments section what perk combination you're most interested in on this pulse rifle. Have you used it? How is it feeling to you? You know, did you get your pattern unlocked yet? Or are you like me, just kind of haven't had the luck there? I've had luck in other red border guns, but not this one. So thanks so much for watching this video. Hey, leave a like if you enjoyed it. Feel free to subscribe to the channel for additional Witch Queen content. And if you're one of the thousands of new subscribers to the channel since Witch Queen dropped, by the way, thank you. Welcome. Happy to have you here. And really looking forward to continuing the grind and getting more content out for you all to consume and enjoy. So be warm and well fed, my friends, and I hope to catch you in the Crucible.